This time the story of the man who appeared with the title "Since my wife was pregnant she has changed and won't come near me." Before telling the story, I want to ask, has anyone ever experienced when a pregnant wife hates her husband? So, my wife who used to always want to be close to me, like glue that wants to always stick to me. But from the first month of my wife's pregnancy until now, she's become like someone who hates me a lot. Every day I am scolded by my wife. I am also told to sleep in another room, and if I fart, she immediately scolds me. Even though before my wife was pregnant, my wife and I often played fart fighting games. Now she doesn't want to do that anymore. Does she not love me anymore? Today she went to the hospital for a medical ultrasound, but she didn't tell me. So, she suddenly left the house and did a medical ultrasound examination herself. When I picked her up from the hospital, she just kept quiet and didn't tell me how she was doing, etc. When I got home, then I gave my wife permission to meet my friend for a while at the coffee shop, but suddenly she started crying and getting angry and then threw her cell phone at me. Then he said, "You've made a mistake because you didn't take me for an ultrasound, and you're not the kind of person who feels guilty and instead you want to meet your friend." In fact, I think she herself told me that she wanted to go to the hospital alone. Then suddenly she left the room, immediately opened the door and took an online taxi. I'm just confused about where she's going, because I'm sure it's impossible for her to cheat, because she never leaves the house at all, because she's the type of person who likes to stay at home. If I invite her to hang out of the house, she always doesn't want to. Her cell phone doesn't have a password either, so I can open it whenever I want. Worse yet, when my brother stopped by the house, then we ate and sounded like a.s.m.r, but I think that's normal because a man sometimes makes noises while eating. But my wife was immediately angry. She said, "I and my brother have no understanding at all." I was confused about what happened. When she calmed down a bit, she explained that she didn't like to see people eating loudly, even though before she got pregnant she was fine and had never had a problem with this. Could someone who was pregnant normally be like this? She really did go from being a woman who clung to me all the time to someone who always seemed to get sick of seeing my face. Right now I feel confused and dizzy. At home, my wife rarely talks to me, rarely smiles at me either. Once I joked and said to her like this, "Honey, you haven't showered yet, because it smells bad." And suddenly she got up and started crying and ran into the room. I got worried about her.